Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Hi-rez96 with a new video. Now this is going to be something I myself am really excited to try out, so if you have any tips or suggestions for me, I would appreciate that. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Now there are plenty of people out there, myself included, that believe there's just some pretty cool things that the game developers can do to make their games more interesting. So today we're going to talk about the game Smite. Smite, if you have not heard of it before, is a third-person MOBA that is based off of pantheons such as Egyptian and Greek pantheons. I have been a fan of this game since its closed beta phase when I had a crappy laptop and dial-up internet to play it with. Now this game is ever expanding with new titles coming out for mobile, a strategy game currently in beta called Smite Tactics, and they are releasing new gods at least once a month. But for us who have played this game since the dawn of its time, there are many things that I myself believe should be implemented in this game. Please take full closure that this is just my belief and I am no way dissing Hi-rez or anything for their content, for I surely do enjoy it and still love playing it. Here is my top 10 list of what I think would be an awesome addition to Smite and its content. Number 1, a new domination map or game mode. Now I know what you're thinking. Shadow, they already have that game mode and it was god awful and no one liked it. Well, back in the day of the domination queue, people still had a problem with tanky gods like Ymir and Ares 1v5ing and coming out on top. Also, the entire concept of the game mode was genius, but the map just needed updates so that people wouldn't get camped for coming out of their base. So my suggestion here is to make the entire map Hindu based and make the map bigger. When you play domination mode and you're like Call of Duty or Destiny, the control points aren't right beside each other. They're spaced out so that people can rotate to the new points if they get pushed out. Also, another thing that can be done is increase the number of control points so that you can't get 3 capped and then just good game. If you have a map that has 4 control points and a diamond-shaped prism, and 1 control point at the center, that is enough room for either team to rotate in and out of areas, and makes the game a little harder for certain teams to just snowball with 3 caps. Also, to prevent the previously mentioned camping of base, there should be 2 entryways like in Arena. One of the points of the diamond can be right in front of your base, and your walking out point can be on either side of that point. Just adding nutrition for the thought here. But I would personally love to see that game mode come back. Number 2, change the way the fire giant works. So we all know that in Conquest there's this big molten man with a beautiful beard that when we kill we get a massive buff to regeneration and power. Well, what if I were to say that the fire giant buff gets nerfed in the beginning and every time your team kills him, the buff gets gradually stronger? And I really know what you're going to say about this being OP and certain team comps will just camp him out to snowball, but at the same time, that means that the team is focused on the fire giant instead of their destructibles, like their towers, that you can just be taken out while they're focusing on him. Fire giant's XP gold is not equal to or greater than the structure's XP and gold. This would also set up a pace where games can be long enough for teams having a hard beginning to catch up for the late game swamp. Number 3, make a duel only map. When I play Smite, I normally only play duel because the player base nowadays are just people who troll if they don't get their ways, and I don't like dealing with teammates. But I am tired of this whole joust map and duel map being the same. It's not fun nor original to use the same map for 2 different game modes. I would suggest maybe a Celtic themed map that would involve like a woodland area on one side with a castle area on the other side for the bases. Also, for the jungle, just make it as complex as the original Joust map was, but have it open up like a plateau from like the war scene of the movie Bravehearts. That way you can just see each other no matter what, and it would also stop the enemies scaring the hell out of you, just jumping over walls, and it would also stop ganks just totally annihilating me during a game just because you jumped over a wall or you're hiding behind a little corner of a wall or something. Another good thing to happen is make the mana buff closer to each base and have the damage buff be, I don't know, like the bull demon? Or maybe, in this map scenario, a manticore. Number 4, add account level lockouts for better match quality. We all know that when we join a match and there's a random level 15 in your game, we all get this feeling of, out of all the nubs in a game, why did I have to get the 1 on my team? Well, Hi-rez kind of fixed the level discrimination by making counts levels based off of every mastered god you own, but why not take it a little bit further? When you begin playing Smite, you're going to own 10 gods, the ones for free and the ones on free rotation for that cycle. What if, and bear with me on this, we take brackets based off of those masteries. So when a new player joins a game, he can play with anyone who has a mastery level of 0 to 30, then bump it up to 31 to 60, and then so on, so that the people who are diamond on 20 different gods don't smash the poor kid or me and make us feel like we want to quit playing. Of course, that means there would be a godlike bracket where if your account mastery is like over 300, then you play against anyone else at that point. Also, to the people who are already commenting that there are people with that high level count and they would never find a game, that's fine. We can throw in a little spit and say that if a queue takes longer than 5 minutes, the game automatically registers this and put that person in the next bracket lower. Smite queues take forever anyway, so why not make a balancing like this? Number 5. Ignore a person's account to play with. I know it's far-fetched, but think about it. Have you ever played a game where there is this one annoying guy or just total stuck-up guy that every time he types you just want to leave the game and take the deserter? Well, what if there was an implemented mechanic that when you ignore that person, you never play with them again? There are thousands of players that play Smite. There is no reason not to be able to ignore one out of the thousands playing the game so you can set your community to your liking. I know we all get antsy sometimes when we can be ones cursing out the team, but if someone does not want to play with someone else, let them take the action to do so. Number 6. Have you ever just looked at the item menu and said, where the hell is my item? It's already 15 seconds of game and I can't find it. Well, what if I told you that there can be a new way to buy the items you need? There's already a feature like it that's implemented, but why can't we just drop the ball and make a few more tabs for it? I'm not going to build the same few items every game. I will be basing my build off of team comp, enemy team comp, how much I die, how many kills I'm getting. There's a lot of factors. So why not make a smart tab that asks you to take a little bit of your time, but the system asks you what you would build against each god. That way, based off of the scenarios, the game can give you a personalized recommended list based off of the enemy team comp and your team comp. It could be a little simple as asking 10 to 20 questions, or it can be dumbed down by asking you to build a tanky, damage, or hybrid build. There's just better ways to deal with it than what we have now. Number 7. Remove items that slow in the game. Come on now, Hi-rez. Do we really need gods that stun you to hell and back, slowing us? Or even the gods that have slows built on their kits? By removing these items, there would be a definite shift into the metagame play that would prevent a lot of gods to focus more on using their skills and their abilities to help them rather than just taking the cheap way and building slow items. I know, the slows got nerfed this season, but come on. Why does there need to be a slowing item in the first place? Make the game original and break from what other games have. Number 8. Make a game mode that is Pantheon based. So I never really heard anyone talk about this before, but what if there was a game mode that is Pantheon based? Every Pantheon but the newer Celtic Pantheon have a role that is within the Guardian, Assassin, Hunter, Mage, and Warrior roles. Why not make a mode when you queue up as a Pantheon you want, then get pinned against another Pantheon? I think it would be interesting to see the team comps that players and pros would come up with that doesn't mix Pantheons. Is this possibly racist? Maybe, but I think it should be just an option for those out there wanting to try different things in their favorite game. Number 9. This is kind of big and probably will never be implemented, but I think it should be. This, of course, being the diversity of character roles bound to the character. This being said, I think that when you look at a god on a gods tab, it should tell you every little detail about that god. When you queue up a match and there's a Freya and a Huyi on the opponent's team, your first thought is not, oh, there's a mage and a hunter on their team. Your exact thoughts are, welp, they have a magical and a physical hunter, so I might as well F6 this game. Change the stereotypes to where the role describes what the character does. So Freya and Kronos, put them in with the hunters. Ullr can be fixed as a ranged assassin. Ao Kuang is a mage assassin. Zhang Kui can be a mage guardian. Don't specify single roles. Show what they can be diverse at for a more fun, roundabout team comp diversity. Also, if the stats are adjusted to where the characters can do ability damage, or focus more on tanking, or focus on auto attacks, then that would just add to what one god can do just to shake things up with the opposing teams. Number 10. Lastly, this is probably the most fanboy thing ever, but I honestly think we need it. Add a Christian pantheon. Call it theist or something, so no one can complain about the word Christian being involved. Since the game has been out, there has been characters that are technically not gods that are playable characters. So there would be nothing wrong with having like a roguelike character like Judas, or a hunter David, or even a warrior Goliath. I myself prefer my beliefs to be known as Christian, and I would love to see what can be implemented in this game with such characters. If Hi-rez is worried about people being pissed off, they shouldn't even care with as much controversy goes on about other character pantheons. And that is my top 10 list for things I believe should be in the game Smite. If you like this video and think I should do one similar to it, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Also, I do gameplay videos on Twitch. I'll leave the link in the description along with my Twitter and Facebook page. Peace out and have a good day, guys.